Hi everyone, and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Rosana, and today we're making sopapillas. A lot of you have requested this video, and I am thrilled because they are easy, so delicious, and I know you're gonna be able to make these. Let's get started. We are going to need a large bowl where we can mix comfortably. To this bowl, add 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, and with your hands, mix to combine well. Once well incorporated, add in 5 tablespoons of vegetable shortening and work it into the flour with your hands. You will obtain a slight crumbly consistency. Then pour in 1 cup of room temperature water. Mix until all of the flour is completely incorporated with the water and you form a ball of dough. Then remove from the bowl and transfer to a working area where you can knead comfortably. See how rough the dough still looks? Begin kneading until it becomes smooth. It will take between 5 to 10 minutes. If you need to lightly dust the area to prevent the mass from sticking, you can do so. I personally love this pastry mat because I don't have to dust any additional flour. The goal is to not add any more or the least amount possible. I will leave the link in the description area for this mat. While kneading, you will also notice it will become slightly softer. Make sure you knead enough because it will make for a great end result. The dough is ready. It feels smooth and looks perfect. Let's take a look at the before and after. This way you get a better idea. Round it into a ball and divide it into 4 equal parts. You don't need to measure, but close enough to equal parts is good. Round each part into a ball and then lightly cover them in shortening, just to make sure they don't dry out. Then place back in the bowl, cover with a clean kitchen towel, and let them rest for 20 minutes. When time is up, take the dough 1 ball at a time and begin rolling into a round shape. By the way, you will notice the dough relaxed and won't be resistant when shaping. It is also softer and smoother than prior to resting. This step is very important and a game changer. It makes a difference. When rolling, you don't want to go too thin. I would say 1/8 of an inch in thickness is perfect. To cut, I'm using a stainless steel scraper just because I don't want to damage the mat I'm using. You could also use a knife or pizza cutter depending on where you are cutting. Start by cutting into quarters and then each quarter in half. This will give you a total of 8 pieces per circle and 32 sopapillas total. As I cut, I find it easy to organize the triangles over parchment paper, which will help prevent them from sticking. At this point, let them rest for an additional 15 minutes. This step is also important because it will make for a puffy, beautifully risen sopapilla. In a large, deep pot, pour in between 1.5 and 2 inches of canola or vegetable oil and allow it to get hot over medium heat. The temperature should be between 350 to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Once hot, add in the triangles and watch the magic happen. By the way, try not to overcrowd the pot and if needed, separate the sopapillas while frying so they don't stick to each other. Look at how gorgeous and puffed they are becoming. I love it. Allow the side touching the oil to become a golden brown color, then flip so the other side does the same. Once all of them are fully cooked, remove them from the oil and let them cool down on a rack. Continue with the rest, then place on the same rack so they can cool down as well before plating and topping them. We are going to top these 3 different ways. I love it because we can keep our options open and have everyone choose their favorite. The first set of flaky sopapillas will be dusted with a light or heavy coating of powdered sugar. You decide the amount you want to add. All I can say is they will catch your eye immediately and it will be impossible to resist. The next set will be coated in a cinnamon sugar. All I did was mix in half a cup of sugar and 1 tablespoon of cinnamon powder or canela and drizzle or coat the sopapillas in it. My friends, the smell is incredible. The cinnamon plays a huge role into making this version stand out. They are irresistible. The last batch is getting a drizzle of a nutty floral good quality honey. Picking a good quality honey will be crucial because it will instantly take this recipe to another dimension. Any type of honey works, but I'm just saying, let's put some thought into the honey. Go ahead and drizzle it all over and add as much as you desire. All of these sopapillas are delicious and with a perfect flaky texture. The toppings are completely optional. Just make sure whichever one you choose, you make them with love. You can also mix and match. Add some honey to the powdered sugar or cinnamon ones, or add cinnamon to the powder ones. You get the point. You have the opportunity to get creative with such a delicious recipe. Look at how pretty these look and delicious. They're perfect. You can plate them up for a party, set a platter, and have a good time. All right, well, we're gonna let my husband try his favorites. He loves the honey one, so he is ready. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and have the powder one. Oh my God.
Wow, is that really good?
You have to try these. They're so easy. I mean, you saw how easy this was. You know what? Let me combine this.
Hey, can I get a combination too?
Of course you can. All right, which one do you want?
The cinnamon sugar.
Okay. Hold on, let me grab this. You couldn't resist, could you? It's amazing. There you go.
How lucky am I?
You sure are. But don't feel left out because you can make these at home. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, the variations, combinations. Come back and let me know which one was your favorite. All right, remember that you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and click the notification bell because that's how you show all of your support. Thank you so much, and until the next one.